Picture being compelled to marry and share a bed with your own sibling, uncle or cousin, all for the sake of maintaining a pure family lineage. For generations, royal houses played a dangerous game with genetics, risking dire repercussions to hold on to their power. This led to tangled genealogies, unfortunate offspring, psychological breakdowns, and stunning secrets they desperately tried to hide from the world. Today we delve into the stunning, heartbreaking, and at times, deeply unsettling accounts of history's most inbred women. And believe me, the woman holding the #1 spot is guaranteed to astonish you. Starting our countdown at number 10 is Isabella II of Spain, who reigned from 1833 to 1868. Her name has become almost synonymous with the severe fallout of royal inbreeding. Born in 1830, her arrival as a girl was considered a relief following her father's frantic search for a male successor. However, rumors about her fragile health, and that of her sister, started to circulate early on. The reason? Her very lineage was a complex web. She was the product of a union between an uncle and his niece. To make the genealogy even more convoluted, her maternal grandparents were also her paternal great-grandparents. Forced into marriage at only 16 with her double-second cousin, Isabella went through 11 pregnancies, but only 5 of her children survived past infancy. And here is the scandalous detail. A majority of historians are convinced that none of those children were actually fathered by her husband. This points to a profoundly complicated and likely miserable marriage, potentially influenced by his rumored homosexuality. Her reign concluded in failure with the loss of her throne, a sorrowful legacy deeply connected to her genetic background. Arriving at number 9 is Marie-Louise of Austria, who carried a comparable genetic weight. Marie-Louise was the child of double first cousins. That's right, her parents' mothers and fathers were siblings. As the eldest of 12 children in a family defined by cousin marriages, heartbreak was a constant. Only 7 of them reached adulthood. The sheer scale of their inbreeding is astounding. As the daughter of double second cousins, Marie-Louise had just 4 distinct great-grandparents, in contrast to the 8 that most people have. At 18, she was forced into a marriage of statecraft with her father's bitter rival, Napoleon Bonaparte, in a desperate attempt to secure peace and hopefully produce a male heir. Just think of the pressure on her young shoulders. At number 8, we jump to the present day with Lorraine Whittaker, who serves as proof that the long reach of extreme inbreeding extends well beyond historical thrones. The Whittaker family, featured in a well-known and disquieting documentary, became notorious for their generations of isolation and intermarriage. Lorraine is a clear result of this, widely acknowledged as one of the most inbred people documented in modern times. She is also the mother of Timmy Whittaker, who himself is often named as possibly the most inbred individual alive today, a stark reminder of how these patterns continue. Number 7 is Maria I of Portugal, known as the Pious, or maybe more accurately, the Disturbed. Born in 1734, she was notorious for 2 things: her severe psychological distress and her incredibly inbred heritage. Her parents, King Joseph I of Portugal and Mariana Victoria of Spain, upheld a centuries-long practice of intermarriage between the Iberian royal families. They were the 16th such pairing. But Maria cemented her own genetic destiny. Under pressure as the heir and desperate to continue the Braganza line, she made an incredible choice at 25. She married her own uncle. The results were devastating, as half of her children tragically died from complications directly tied to their severe inbreeding. Number 6, Marie-Louise Elizabeth d'Orleans, lived a life resembling a grim tragedy, driven by dynastic demands. Her very existence was controversial. Born from the deeply unhappy union of Philip II, Duke of Orleans, who was made to marry his illegitimate cousin, the daughter of Louis XIV. As the eldest surviving child of this cousin marriage, Marie-Louise had no way out. She too was forced into a marriage, this time with her cousin, Prince Charles of Berry. Their union resulted in 3 infants, all of whom died tragically young. Was it the crushing burden of their shared ancestry or Marie-Louise's recorded struggles with severe alcoholism, a coping method she reportedly started at the tender age of 14? Historians still argue over the precise reason, but the result is no less heartbreaking. At number 5, we have a less famous but intriguing individual, Princess Alexia of Greece. Born in 1964, she and her 4 siblings are the result of one of the final royal weddings between a reigning monarch and a royal princess. But on closer inspection, her parents, Queen Anne-Marie of Denmark and King Constantine II of Greece, were not just husband and wife. They were second cousins and also third cousins through 2 different lines. Looking even further, both had their own significant burdens of inbreeding. Constantine's great-grandparents were siblings, and his grandmother was the sister of his great-grandfather. Anne-Marie's ancestry was similarly intertwined. While their affection appeared real, their marriage as such close relatives inevitably produced partially inbred offspring, mirroring the circumstances of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. Get ready for number 4, Maria Antonia of Austria, the forgotten Habsburg. While her uncle, Charles II of Spain, is infamously known as the most inbred Habsburg, Maria Antonia's level of inbreeding actually exceeded his. Her family tree is less of a tree and more of a dense, tangled thicket. Some might even call it a closed loop. The incredible density of intermarriage meant her coefficient of inbreeding, a genetic measurement, was even higher than that of a child born to 2 full siblings. Her story is frequently overlooked, but from a genetic standpoint, she is unmatched at the peak of Habsburg inbreeding. Number 3 transports us back thousands of years to mummies 317A and 317B. These designations may not be familiar, but their story is carved into ancient sorrow. Born around 1300 BC, these 2 tiny Egyptians were the stillborn or infant daughters of the famous pharaoh Tutankhamun and his wife Enkhsenamun. Their brief existence is a testament to the repercussions of severe inbreeding. Enkhsenamun was not just Tut's wife. She was also his half-sister, with whom he shared a father. Tutankhamun's own ancestry was saturated with generations of sibling marriage. The genetic cost was simply too great for these infants to survive. At number 2 we face a contemporary horror, Kimberly Colt, a pseudonym used to protect her identity. She is arguably the most inbred person alive today. The Colt family gained infamy in Australia for functioning like a secluded cult, participating in horrific, illegal, and inhumane acts over generations. This led to massive police raids and jail sentences in the 2000s. Kimberly Colt remains a tragic, living example of the catastrophic outcomes of extreme, multi-generational inbreeding outside of any royal lineage. And finally, claiming the number 1 position is Cleopatra VII Philopator. Look beyond the cinematic portrayals. Cleopatra's real history is a tale of ruthless, methodical inbreeding. Though Egyptian by title, her lineage was staunchly Greek-Macedonian. For centuries, the Ptolemies consistently married brother to sister and uncle to niece to secure their power and pure bloodline. Cleopatra's own parents were siblings, and her grandparents were siblings. Her own siblings married one another before she seized sole power. Her very name originated from a distant Syrian princess ancestor, one of the very few outsiders ever permitted into the family line. Cleopatra VII was not merely a consequence of inbreeding. She was its ultimate, most potent, yet biologically compromised embodiment. From glittering palaces to isolated backwoods, the quest for power, purity, or simple survival through isolation has created these sorrowful and intricate stories. If this exploration into the deep effects of extreme inbreeding has intrigued you, stunned you, or given you pause for thought, please show your support. Hit that like button, and share your thoughts or questions in the comments below. What did you find most shocking? And most importantly, subscribe to our channel.